Welcome to Thanet Writers and Stefan Gambrell. I'm Jess Rhodes, and today I'm talking to performance poet and event organiser, Neanderthal Bard, Stefan Gambrell. Stefan, hi.
How are you doing?
I'm not bad. You're very active in the local performance poetry scene. What is it about poetry that speaks to you?
I'm not sure. It was an accident, to be honest. I was told to write a letter about, or to my friends and family about how I felt after being diagnosed as having borderline personality disorder, and like the first two lines rhymed, so that was it. It just kind of carried on from there. It was a complete accident, to be honest. It's harder to be a good poet for 40 years and not know that you're a good poet than it is to actually be a good poet for 40 years. Cause there you go.
You run a lot of local events for poets. Could you tell us a bit about those?
Yeah, we started in August on the end of the pier. They got a steak menu at the Lighthouse, so we had verse and turf. And we had cream teas and poetry at the Turner Centre. And now we've got soul food and street sonnets every month. Last Thursday of every month at Olby's Soul Cafe in Margate. And then every other month we have an event at the Turner Centre every other month, which is like the one coming up in February is Love is a Must. You know what I mean? It's a little catchy little title.
Is that around Valentine's Day by any chance?
Well, no, it's about a week after, but yeah, I suppose we tried coining in on the old Valentine's thing.
You're also involved in an online poetry slam. What's that, and how does that one work?
Well, I was approached by a guy called Barry Waters, and he's one of the founding members of that creative thingy, What's It? Theatre club, and what they did was to try and fuse certain styles or art forms. They created an online slam, and which I've never won, funny enough.
How does the online slam work then?
Well, the online slam, we've just done a team slam, so it works a little bit differently. We're back onto single competitor slam now, and the idea is there are no time limits, there is no theme, and there's no limit on the way that you can share your poetry. You're welcome to send it in print, audio, video, I mean, carrier pigeon, just about any way you like, to be honest, because there's a lot of people that can't get to slams either, because people that like slams love slams. People that don't like slam poetry tend to loathe slams, and so this was a way of trying to bring in those people that, you know what I mean, that don't want to stand in front of like 50, 100 people, you know what I mean, or they can't get out to do that, or you know what I mean, through either physical or invisible disabilities. You know what I mean, there's lots of reasons why people won't or can't attend a physical slam, and so we're trying to provide a slam arena without the
need to physically be there.
Well, yeah, without the pomp. There's a lot of pomp and pomposity. You know what I mean? Like they say, the points aren't the point, the poetry's a point, which I've never ever met a slammer that went there to lose. Never. So you can say the point is a point, the poetry's not the point. But nobody goes to lose.
What exactly is slam poetry? Because I've heard a lot about it.
And the idea was to be able to curtail an open mic night to a certain time period, or to try and put that entertainment showbizy kind of like, I mean, and inclusive, including the audience, then the audience score. I mean, it was the whole. I'm sure the whole point was to keep people's poetry quite brief. That's why there's a 3-minute time limit. But also give a lot of people the opportunity to voice their, to voice their poems. It's
So is it a bit like spoken word?
Do you know, they say there's spoken word artist, performance poet. It's, to me, I mean, I don't know the difference. I understand the definition of the difference, but there is a lot more comedy involved within a slam, even if it's not the poets that are being comical. I mean, there's an interaction with, and all slams really, I think, depend on a very, very good host. because there are time constraints and there are numbers to, people voting, and there are things, and timing, and there are things to control. And like Dan Simpson's probably just about the best host I've ever seen. I'm a bit biased because I love him to bits, but he brings in that injection of humour. So it's not all just, I went to Tesco's in the pavement, glistened in an iridescent. It's punchy poetry. It is very punchy, I think. You've got 3 minutes to make a point.
Yeah, might as well make it a good one.
Well, I wish everybody thought that. Yeah, I wish everybody thought that. Yeah, but a slam is there for those that like energy.
Yeah.
Because they're a very energetic thing. Because the host, injects. That's their job, to inject that energy, to make that the most important poem. Make that poet feel like the most important poet in the world. And there's nothing like that to stop that fear of performing. You've only just got. If you go to a slam, there's 15 slammers. So you go on halfway through, you've had the chance to see how 7 other people have done it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there becomes an obsession. I got an obsession with writing the perfect slam poem, with the right amount of rise and fall in my tone, and the audience interaction, because these are the things that the judges are told they're judging on, audience participation. Engaging and audience participation. Your presentation of the poem. There's lots of things. It's easy to rhyme about something that's very popular or very in the news at that moment.
Yeah.
But slams don't confine to just that. There are a lot of poets out there that excel.
Yeah.
Excel in slam. Slam, like in the US, they have slam teams. Yeah, and they take that. They take it seriously, really seriously. Myself. Once you've won one, you can.
Yeah.
So you want to win another. It's like anything, though.
Yeah.
It is like anything. For a while, I got called a slam poet, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest. But I've enjoyed the slams that I've done, definitely.
So how come you got the name Neanderthal Bard then? How did that one come about?
Because my rhymes are club blunt. That was well. I'll tell you what it is. When you surmise or just assume what poetry is, you think it's for the higher brow amongst us. And people think of the Tennysons, the Byrons, the Wordsworth and the Shakespeares, and there's no reason not to think about these people within poetry, but that's not the only poetry that's available. It's not the only poetry that's available. When I felt a little bit under-evolved, a little bit under-intellectual, just not quite as clever as everybody else. So Neanderthal Bard, it started, I wanted to use it. Here we are, it's time for the Neanderthal Bard, right? And I wanted to use it in a poem. And then, so I did. The idea of Neanderthal Bard in the first place was to be an umbrella that everybody can come together. We got to a point where I was going to London and I was known better as Neanderthal Bard than I was Stefan Gambrell.
Yeah.
So it kind of became its own little and it's rememberable. I think it's and I feel a bit like a caveman when I'm around other poets, because I just don't feel as intellectually blessed. Doesn't mean I'm not as smart, it just means I just don't know as much.
Yeah.
I suppose.
And of course you don't always have to be intellectually inclined to do decent poetry.
Absolutely not, I've proved that. I think I am the living embodiment of unintellectual poetry.
There's a lot of talk about how poetry, prose, any form of creativity can help mental health.
It was a cathartic process for me, without a doubt. Without a doubt. How would you feel and what would you do if your world was just grey with no shades of blue? It's just kind of a descriptive sentence in its first 2 lines of my first poem I ever wrote. And for the first 18 months and 2 years I did very little but write about being mentally ill, about my struggles, about the joy of it too, because I call poetry's my BPD superpower. So if I could take a tablet to get rid of borderline personality disorder, I wouldn't, because I think it would take away that poetry side of me too.
Yeah.
and I don't want to lose it now. I found it.
So what's next for you over the coming year?
The coming year, well, I thought, well, I'm busy. We're actually planning into next year as well now, but soon, or coming up immediately, at the end of February, we've got Soul Food in the Street. We've got Soul Food in the Street Sonnets last Thursday. We've got the Turner Centre coming up. Love is a Must with Deep Dobson as a feature poet. He's a lovely guy, soldier of light. He's got a heart bigger than the rest of the world. I mean, he's just such a lovely guy, and he deserves to be paid as a professional poet. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Bringing him down. And then we've got Clive Oseman. He's from Brum, well, around the Swindon area. He's coming down for Soul Food and Street Sonnets on the 23rd, and then on the 26th is the Turner Centre with Deep Dobson. Then we've got Margaret Soul Weekend. It's a huge established festival for soul music. They've been going 11 years, and this year they've decided that they want to add a spoken word stage for 2 full days, and provide workshops for 8 to 16-year-olds where they can learn to write and perform, and then have an opportunity for the last hour on the stage to be stars of their own showcase. Ooh. We've got Peter de Graaf, the repeat beat poet, coming down. We've got Beady Man coming down. We've got they're coming down to help a man called Thomas Owen. He's a North London educator who teaches there are alternatives, and he does that using hip hop, and he's pretty awesome. We've also got the rapping teacher Christian coming down with him as well. He's a good pull too. He's a nice bloke. So then the week after that, we've got Margate Pride. We're doing a diversity slam.
That should be good. Are you doing anything else, maybe next year or the year after?
Well, definitely. Planned from the beginning of June to the end of September, I'm going to be doing the 100-day homeless tour, where I deliver 100 workshops and 100 performances in 100 days.
Well, I mean, if anybody does want to find any future information or events, then obviously head over to neanderthalbard.co.uk. I've been talking to Stefan Gambrell, otherwise known as the Neanderthal Bard. I'm Jess Rhodes, and on behalf of Thanet Writers, thank you for watching.